Okay, guys, welcome to the second part of the seventh demo. The first one was part one, this is part two, where we are done preparing our objective test question. We are now here to upload the objective test question. To do that, you have to go to, remember, these are various topics. So if you click on this one, that is where you are going to upload the objective questions. So in this case, we want to get it at respiration. So with the respiration, we click on this, and then we go down to find add an activity or resource. Editing is already turned on. Then we are supposed to go to activity. Of course, it is a quiz we want to add. Okay, so we click on quiz. Okay, so once this open, we type the general name for the quiz. As much as possible, try and type something that it can alert the students. Something like maybe click here to start quiz, or begin quiz by clicking this button. Something that will catch them to note that this is where you are supposed to start something. So here you can say that click to start quiz. Maybe you can say click to start respiration quiz or something. Yes. So description, here you can describe maybe 10 objective questions. You can say 10 OBG, something like that. And then you display. If you don't click on this, whatever you have typed here will not display. So you display. Once you do that, then you go to timing. It's very important that you set the timing in which the quiz is supposed to start. Maybe you are preparing the quiz down for next 2 weeks. Okay, so you can set the date that is supposed to begin. Even though the student will see it, they can't start once the date is not set. So you enable the start date, and then you say maybe starting on the 24th, or it is starting on September, whichever date that you want to start. You select it, and then you enable the close date as well. And then when is it starting, when is it ending? Obviously you would want to pick September. As much as possible, don't try and then keep the close dates and the start dates at the same time. If not, if you have about 5,000 students who are accessing this course, there will be so much pressure on the server. So as much as possible, try and then limit the give about 3 days interval for the dates of the quiz to close. But what you need to really take into consideration is a time limit. Okay, you set your time limit. So it doesn't matter when the person should start writing the exam. But what is important is that you give a time that is supposed to stop. Okay, so here maybe 10 minutes that you want to give. You can allocate that. And then you, when the time expires, of course, it should submit automatically. So you leave that. You can now minimize this one. And then you want to go to the grades, the grade category. This is very important. At this point, if you have not set your grade book, you are supposed to go and set your grade book, because everything that when you have set your grade book, however that you set it up, that is how it's going to appear over here. So setting up your grade book is very important at this point. So if you have not set up your grade book, kindly set up your grade book to ensure that you would see all the categories of the various stuff that you have prepared. You will see them here. So it's very important that you set your grade book. Demo has been done on how to set grade book. If if you have not done that, kindly get to that demo and see how you can set this gradebook up. So quizzes. So once you click on this, what it means is that the scores are going to be aligned to quizzes. If you select exam, it means that it's an exam, so the scores that the student will get is going to be allocated under that particular category. This is very important, and you need to do this before you continue. Allow attempts. Okay, if you say unlimited, it means that he is going to do it so many times. So it's just one attempt. If you want to keep it unlimited too, you can keep it unlimited, but it will only record the highest grade for the student. But if it's a class exercise, then of course you can leave it as unlimited. But if it's a quiz, then of course you want to go for one attempt, just to put them on their toes or something. So that is basically the most essential part. And I think layout. So how many questions do you want to appear on a page? Over here you want to pick maybe 3 or 4 questions at a page. What it means that if you have 10 questions, 3 questions would appear on each page. So depending on how you want the order to appear, that is how you want it. You choose from here. And so maybe 3 questions at a page will be okay for you. You can pick that. And then once you are done, you can now save and display. So this is the first part of putting the questions there. This is just about just putting the questions there. So once you save and display, as you can see, attempt allowed is 1. The quiz would start at this time and close at this time. The time limit is this. Okay, so as you can see, click to start quiz, and then the description that you described is also here. So this is it. Once this is done, you will see this page settings over here. Okay, you will see this page settings over here. Go to this page settings. If you can't find it here, you would surely find it somewhere around here, but mostly it will be sitting somewhere here. So then you can now go to question bank. Okay, you can go to your question bank and then go and set up your question bank from there. So you can go to question bank. It is important that you upload the question in question bank than to just upload it or import it. Your question bank will keep record of all the questions that you are uploading, so that in the future, if you want to get it for other students, you can use it. It's just like building a past questions. Okay, so question banks are very, very important at this point, that you will need to keep in mind. So leave it as default for test, and then go to categories. So once you get to the categories, of course, this is the parents test. Maybe you want to select your default, click to start quiz from here, because this is the default for test. Okay, so you want to choose this one. I think I did all at the same time. Okay, so click to start quiz. We can choose this one, and then the name for the quiz, we can add category. Anyway, we can just go straight to import. We can just go straight to do the import, because we have created our course link to pick it up, so there is no need. You can now go to Akin format. This is what I'm talking about. So this is the first thing that you click. For the file format is an Akin format. Then general, let's see what is there. Import category. Okay, so here the import category, where do you want to import it? You want to import it to the default click to start quiz. Okay, that is where you want to import it to. Okay, so that is during the quiz picked, the quiz we selected. This is what we gave the name, okay, as it appeared at the top, that we made it 10 OBG. Good, so that is that. And so this is the only thing you want to do from here. And then when it comes to the import, you will say choose file, and then you go to choose file again. You see it will come to upload file, then choose file. Okay, so we will go to our desktop. Remember, in our last demo we saved the test document or the test file at we saved it at desktop. So we can go to desktop, and you see that's what we call the demo underscore test. That is what we picked. So you select this one, and then there it appears over here. As soon as you select it, it will come here, and then you go like upload this file. So once you upload the file, it will come and sit here, as you can clearly see, and then now you can go to import file. Okay, so once you import the file and you don't have any error, you will be getting these messages: passing questions from import file, then import 2 questions from file. So these are 2 questions that we had, and remember, these are the 2 questions. And interestingly, remember that we didn't add number 1, number 2, but automatically it will number all your questions for you. So once you are, it is fine like this, and you are seeing these 2 messages clearly telling you that the file has been imported, and then stating the number of files that have been imported, you can now click on continue. Good, so now we have our files imported. These are the 2 files that these are the 2 questions that we have successfully imported into this imported so far. So as you can see, these are 2 questions. The total number of questions that you have imported would appear over here. And so that is that with this part. Then you would now want to go to the test. You can come here and then go to the test. Okay, so over here we imported this, and remember, this is what we have here. Okay, so once you click on this, you can see that these are the tests that we had. You come here, and then now you can go to you can preview. Okay, once you click on this, you can go to preview. Remember, you go to preview so that you can preview the questions to see what you have. Okay, so once you click on preview, the most important thing you need to check is that check the maximum grade. If you have 10 questions, maybe 1 mark for each. Okay, so you can change it by telling us that it's supposed to be 2. In our case, it's only 2, so you just save it so that it would make it 2. Okay, giving 2 marks for that question, depending on the number of questions that you have anyway. So you turn on this guy here, shuffle. What the shuffle does is that, and this is where it becomes handy if you are having a lot of questions in your question bank. It will shuffle the questions so that each participant or each student, each examiner each candidate would have different set of questions at the same time. So somebody's question one will be different from the other person's question one. Even if they are writing at the same time, they will have even possibility of having different set of questions still on respiration. So you need to fill your question bank with, imagine you have 1,000 questions. Then of course all the students are going to answer different questions, and that shows the level of questions that you are ready to give them. So now here we want to import the question here. So you can now go to where are you going to add the question from, because when you check here the questions are not here. So you are going to add from question bank. Okay, you are going to pick it from question bank. So from the question bank, we are going to pick this one. You see, this is the default. In fact, this is the default one. So this is where we are going to pick the questions from. So we will select all the questions by clicking on this small T arrow here. If it is 20 questions and you want to select 10, then just click 10 out of it. But if you want all, you click on this button here to select them automatically. Then once you select them, you see what? Add selected question to the quiz, and then you click on that, and then it will add to the quiz. Okay, so there you have it. You have 2 questions added, and you see that 1 mark each, 1 mark each. So it is all set, and once you have done this, you have added the questions, and the students should be able to view the questions from this point. So when you go to the test again, if you want to go to the test again, and then check how it will look like. At this point you have added your test questions, so you can now come to click to start. And then once you say click to start, you see you can now preview questions now. Okay, preview quiz. Okay, so it will tell you start attempt, give you all the options that you need. So if you say start, of course, then you can now, the student is ready to answer the questions. And so this is how the questions is going to appear with the time indicated. So the time left will tell the student that this is how many questions you have left. Okay, so these are the questions that we imported. Okay, so there you have it, beautifully arranged, question 1 in that order. If you have 20 questions, they will all line up like that, and the student can be toggling through the questions and be answering them appropriately. So let's assume that question 1 is supposed to be B, so let's assume that we pick C, and then this one, let's pick the C, which is a correct answer, and then you just say finish attempt. And this is how the student is going to see it as it at his end, and then answer the question. So it will ask you return to attempt or submit all questions. If you are done and you want to submit all questions, you say submit all questions. Are you sure you want to submit? These are some of the interrogations that the student will be going through until finally, check it out, it is going to mark and then tell the student. So this red one will tell the student that it's incorrect. This one will tell the student that it is correct. Okay, so, and comment will be given. Okay, the correct answer is this. So you, the teacher, have just done your part of it, and this is going to be marked for the student, and the score is going to be recorded in his grade book under quizzes. So if you set for exam 2, scores will be recorded. If it's project work, all these things will be done and arranged accordingly, and at the end of the day, grade will be awarded to the students. Okay, so this is the first part of the uploading OBG questions. We have another part which is true or false, matching and stuff like that. That is going to be the gift format. And so in our next demo, we are going to look at how to also do that gift format and then get the questions uploaded. Thank you, and then looking forward to see you in the next demo.